I should probably change that.
Yeah, probably.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Nerdcore Live Show. It is a Sunday afternoon, and you know what that means. We're here for our first of a couple Invincible reviews, Invincible Season 3 reviews. We're back today to do our Season 3 premiere review. As always, this is Nerd kind of here to host show on. So our wonderful co-host, Brad Young Yoda.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a wonderful Sunday. What the fuck afternoon?
Yeah, it's because I hit my my controller from my PlayStation. I thought I dropped something else. I was like, what the fuck?
What the fuck afternoon?
Yeah. Live on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick. As always, we're just here to hang out with you guys and talk about Invincible. Brad, how are you doing today?
Doing good. Went to breakfast, then went over to Ace, bought some planting stuff. So
Nice.
yep.
Nice.
Then I got back here at around noon, and I thought that's the time we were gonna podcast, and then nope, I was early.
You were very early.
Yeah. So I made pizza. Made a frozen pizza. So.
Yeah. When you asked me like, hey, can you give me like 10 or 15 minutes? I'm like, you can have a lot more than that. I mean, we're not even starting yet.
I'm still in the thinking we're 2 hours, but that's East Coast.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, man, that's not don't worry. You ended up making it on time. Don't worry. You're good.
Okay. Good deal.
Yeah. But other than that, Brad, nothing. You haven't seen anything?
No, haven't really seen anything.
No. I went to go see Captain America: Brave New World last night.
Was it good?
It's fine. It's whatever.
Yeah. That's not a very good review. It's whatever. It's a Marvel.
I mean,
movie.
it's
a movie.
If you're going in there expecting Winter Soldier, you're not getting it. If you're expecting a movie that is juggling a Captain America film and a Incredible Hulk film, fuck, I think you might get it. And if you go in there expecting it to be a half-assed political thriller, well, that's kind of what it is.
Okay. Okay.
But it's got its charm, and for the most part, I enjoyed it. But it's very, very bottom level.
It's a whatever. It's a whatever to me.
Yeah, it's just whatever, man. I'm excited for more for Fantastic Four, so that's really what I've got looking forward to when it comes to MCU, and then of course Superman.
Looks pretty good for that.
Yeah, and then of course Daredevil Born Again, and we have Superman coming down. So all those I'm way more excited for, and this one just didn't do it for me.
What about the Thunderbolts? You excited for the Thunderbolts?
I haven't seen any of the trailers, Brad. I need to actually do a reaction to that soon. But I like Florence Pugh.
Yeah.
So can't say much about that. Yeah. But you've seen the trailers for the Thunderbolts, right?
Yeah, I've seen the trailers.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, I haven't, so I need to see that. But yeah, I watched that last night, and yeah, Brad, I had some dude next to me who was trying to act fucking hard as shit. I was laughing, because that's kind of the reaction you're gonna get from me when you see Harrison Ford, using a elliptical. It's gonna make me laugh. And this dude, I guess he really wanted to act hard in front of his girlfriend or something. Turns around, he's like, "It's not that funny. I need you to tone it down. Like, it really ain't that funny." I looked at him like, okay, fucking dipshit, okay. Then again, I don't know, man. I think what's more embarrassing is for you to get up during the mid-credits and for your girl to tell you to sit your ass down and you end up doing that. I think that's way more embarrassing, so... I don't think I was much in the wrong that night. I think you might have gone a little overboard and trying to impress your girl. So, yeah, that happened. Yesterday was a rough day at the movie theaters, Brad.
I mean, why guys gotta be douchebags?
Yeah. Bro, you know damn well that when there's girls involved, dudes are always gonna try to, one-up each other. They always want to... really what's it called, puff up their chest and be like, hey, look at me, I'm here on a date. Like, don't nobody give a shit, bro.
Giving a fuck about
And you got bitched out, so who cares? Yeah. Told you to sit your ass down and you sat down like a little good boy, bro. I was like, damn.
This is why
That's
I go to
embarrassing.
one certain movie theater and it's like cordoning off like 2 seats each. So
Yeah. But other than that, man, not much, Brad. I sit down. I finished watching Panton 2, and I also watched some YouTube videos here, but caught up with.
What are we supposed to be reviewing tomorrow?
It's on the schedule.
Yeah, I know.
I believe it's Elephant Man.
Okay.
But check the schedule. Watch Paddington 2. I finished up like the half of what was left. Day before that, I caught up on Dragon Ball Daima, the English dub, and watched the newest episode of Invincible. Because, I guess that's gonna tell you what my thoughts are if I'm not waiting for next week for review. If I'm just straight up catching up with them. So, I guess with that said, Brad, we should probably get into it, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So, if you haven't watched the first 3 episodes of Invincible Season 3, you should probably get out of here if you care about spoilers. But if you don't care about spoilers or you've already seen the episodes, go ahead and stay. Either way, how it goes is your one and only spoiler warning and is in effect in A5. After these words from our sponsors, in A5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Today's episode of the Nerdcore Live Show is brought to you by SeatGeek. Whether you want to see your favorite band, sports team, or comedian, SeatGeek has you covered. We're proud to be partnering with SeatGeek to offer you $10 off with code TheNerdCore. That's $10 off your first order at SeatGeek.com with code THENERDCORPS. So take a seat at your next live event with SeatGeek. Thank you. Now let's get back to today's video.
Let people enjoy.
Yeah. All right, guys. Season 3, I'm gonna read descriptions and titles for all 3, and then we'll just go into an overall. You know how we do it. We go into an overall discussion about the premiere, and then we'll give individual ratings for each episode. So, episode 1 titled "You're Not Laughing Now." Mark Grayson is back and stronger than ever with new enemies out for blood and old villains out for revenge. Episode is directed by Jason Zarek, and supervising directors are Dan Duncan and Sean O'Neill. Based on a comic book by Robert Kirkman, Corey Walker, and Ryan Otley, and written by Simon Rakilpa. Starring Stephen Yeun, Sandra Oh, J.K. Simmons, Cleveland Berto, Christian Convery, Chris Diamantopoulos, Callista Flockhart, Walton Goggins, Gillian Jacobs, Simu Liu, Melise, Luke McFarlane, Jason Mantzoukas, Jolo Maridueña, and Ross Marquand. And
Seth Rogen?
And Seth Rogen, of course, Kari Payton. I'm going here on the
I don't know why I didn't realize Cecil was voiced by Walton Goggins.
You don't hear it?
Yeah, I hear it now after I noticed that, and I was like, huh.
Jay Farrow, Zachary Quinto, Andrew Rannells, Seth Rogen, Kevin Michael Richardson, and many more. All right. Episode 2 titled "A Deal with the Devil." Mark takes a stand unaware of the ramifications for his family, the GDA, and even the Guardians. Cecil remembers his past, and Eve makes an important decision. This episode is directed by Haley Herrick, and of course, supervising directors Dan Duncan and Sean O'Neill. Written by Helen Lay, based on the comic book by Robert Kirkman, Corey Walker, and Ryan Otley. Same cast as well, guys. Only thing that's different, I think Grey Griffin wasn't in the last episode. But yeah. And episode 3 titled "You Want a Real Costume, Right?" Mark struggles to teach Oliver what it means to be a superhero. Debbie explores a new relationship and a changed family dynamic. This episode is directed by Sol Choi, And of course, supervising directors Dan Duncan, Sean O'Neill, and written by Jay Faber, and of course based on the comic book by Robert Kirkman, Corey Walker, and Ryan Audley, and the same cast from the last one. Oh wait, no, Zazie Beetz is in this one because she comes out. Amber comes out in this one. So yeah, that's the only difference in this one. But and Mark Hamill as Art. Yeah. Brad. So Brad, let's go ahead and just preface this. You guys can go back and watch our reviews of season 2 and what we thought about it. There was a massive shift in the break, and when we came back, we were just not a fan of that second half of the season at all.
We weren't digging it.
Yeah, you can blame the break. I blame the break for like at least 50% of that, and 50% of it I blame just not interesting writing going down anymore in the second half. And I think that obviously it just wasn't as strong as I thought it would be. And so I ended up being very, very sour on season 2, and we said, I don't think I want to review season 3. I said, I'll give it a shot. I literally said it at the end of those episodes, like, I'll watch the first 3 episodes. I'll watch the first episodes. If they do not impress me, I don't think I'm going to review them. So I watched these 3 episodes like last week.
And here we are.
And I told Brad, I think these episodes, you may want to watch them. Let's see what you think. I didn't entirely tell him like what I fully thought. I said I kind of like these episodes. And well, Brad, you finally got to them this week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What are your initial thoughts?
I think they're good. I think it's a return to form, probably close to that first half of the second season. Also, I think people forget that when we came from that break and it started playing, I think we were in the middle of Shogun.
Yeah.
Yeah, which, Shogun was having a tear. It was having a run. I mean, it won all the awards, so you can it was almost like a comparison of coming back and being like, well, now I got to watch Invincible, and now we're reviewing Shogun, so we're kind of tired. I think that had something to do with it. But these 3 episodes, I think it's a good start to season 3, and hopefully it continues on. I mean, we basically started off where we left off, and it gets into a really interesting point because you have a hero who is being trained and fighting for his country, and then he doesn't like what his country's doing in a certain aspect, and he turns. And I think that's a very interesting way to do that, because now you got a hero who's trying to be a hero, but he's also got to face his country that he doesn't fully trust what they're doing.
Yeah.
So you play off that, and that's probably going to be what it is throughout this whole season.
Yeah. I really like what they're doing, not just with Mark in this season, but I really like this dynamic that we're starting to grow with Oliver and Mark.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be probably one of the strongest things in this season.
Well, and you're seeing Oliver is progressing. His superpowers are progressing
Pretty
faster
fast
than Mark's.
Oh,
which
yeah.
makes sense because on his his genetics,
Yeah.
he grows faster. So it kind of makes sense in that form. So I'm glad they're keeping to that. Also, I enjoy what's happening with the Guardians.
Oh, the Guardians, yep.
So I'm enjoying that whole storyline of what's going on there and how, it comes up to, they're having to make decisions as well.
Yeah, and we're kind of left in this, what's it called, kind of Guardian Civil War thing here. The Guardians are splitting up. Because, it's finally come to light, that Cecil really can't be trusted. And I feel like everybody knew that Cecil couldn't be trusted, but Mark wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. Well, because even the mom was like, you sure you want to work for Cecil?
Yeah. I mean, the mom never trusted Cecil, and for good reason. She always figured that they would use Mark, just kind of like how they used Omni-Man as a weapon that they could use against others, or, as a threat.
Yeah.
If they had control over him. And that's what he basically wants to have. Is he wants to have Invincible as a threat to other nations and other criminals and all that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you learn that what Mark thought were the enemies is now on the side of Cecil in the U.S. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it gets complicated, and Mark doesn't like that. And then I like how they do a flashback to how Cecil used to be that way. He
Yeah.
literally went to prison for it, and then you know that he comes out and he takes control, and he basically kind of does a 180.
Yeah. You think that Cecil is gonna what's it called? Gonna turn around in the season, or do you think that he's gonna stick to his like by the books mentality?
I feel like Cecil's going to stick to by the books because I feel like he would have. I feel like he would have already with the Guardians splitting and all that. If he was going to
Mm-hmm.
change his ways, he would have changed it then to try to hold all of them together.
It's kind of what
But
I think too.
yeah, but no, I think he set a plan in motion and he's going to stick to that plan. That just seems to me he thinks Mark's basically just naive,
Yeah.
which Mark might be, but I don't necessarily think Mark's wrong in that you're trusting people that he had fought against, and he thought that you went sent to prison or they died, and now he's got all these reanimation humanoid robots, zombies
Yeah.
that are attacking.
But in a way, I also understand Cecil where he's coming from because he tells Mark like, "You think? Well, what about you? You've killed before.
Yeah,
Like, should I just lock you up too?" You know? And it's like he does bring up a really good point about that, and it kind of doesn't sit well with Mark either. And
yeah,
because I think what they're really highlighting in this season that really hasn't been highlighted as well in the last season was the difference between Mark and Invincible, because you're seeing a lot of Mark finally what's it called you know dating Amber, and you get that part, but in the way that like Invincible kind of gets in the way of that.
hmm
Yeah.
and well now Invincible, which
Invincible.
I'm not liking the suit change personally.
No.
I hope they go back to the yellow and blue.
Yeah. I know
Also,
that this is from the comics, but like for me it just kind of looks like the Amazon Prime Video colored suit. Like
yeah, yeah,
like it literally just looks like Amazon Prime Video colors.
yeah, kind of. But I like
Yeah.
the yellow and blue a little more.
Yeah, I
thought
like that more.
I thought it hilarious though, the kid Omni Man.
Yeah.
And
Well,
the guy was
and
like, he
that's
said the O was for Oliver, and I'm just like, dude, the suit looks exactly like Omni Man.
well, and I'm glad they did that because like in he doesn't like Oliver doesn't see anything bad with the way that Omni Man was because Oliver
But
didn't experience Nolan at
yeah,
his worst.
but have they told him? Have they
No.
really sat him down and tried telling him,
Yeah.
you know, what he did, what Nolan really freaking did, and what his purpose of being over that country or that world, that Earth
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
like, and how many people he hurt, and why so many people don't trust or like Omni Man. And then
Yeah.
Mark, on top of that, has seen different futures
Mm-hmm.
with Omni Man. All of them not very good.
Yeah. Now, I do have to say this. I think that the first episode is really good. It's pretty good.
hmm
I think the second episode is a little bit of a step down, and I think that's a little weaker. But I think the third is just really good. I think the third really gets it. I don't know how we're going to get what's his name, big brain guy, the one who was like multiverse, like skipping and stuff.
Yeah. I think we got a hint of him. He was in the gold chair, right? I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
I have no idea how we're gonna get him back into the fray of all this, because to me it feels like the season story isn't going to be preoccupied with any of that now.
No, I mean, I think we're going to be more occupied with Nolan coming back in the fray. I'm guessing,
Yeah.
with them having to deal with Oliver,
Yeah.
in some form. Also, Oliver killed the Maulers, which I'm
Yeah.
kind of
Oh my God, bro.
about that.
Well, like fucking brutal, dude. Like,
Yeah,
you know how many times we've seen those fuckers come back again and again and again?
and then now they're just dead.
They're
and I'm just
dead.
like, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I kind of like seeing. I knew they weren't gonna like succeed or anything, but this kid just put his whole arm and fist through the dude's face.
Yep.
Is that like those guys were like pushovers?
Yep. Yeah,
But
that was freaking brutal.
But I love how Oliver. You can tell he's a kid because like he meant to do that. Like that's what he meant to do. But he goes right into the face when everybody's just looking at him like, "Oh, I didn't mean to do that." Like I didn't mean to do that. It's like, no, you meant to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, we know. Like, but I thought it was kind of he's still a kid, and they show that.
Yeah. And then, of course, his mom, is getting herself back out there too. Which, I don't like the way that Mark reacted to Debbie, telling the guy that, like, they're invincible and invincible boy. When it's like, even.
He kind of just walked in.
Yeah.
They both walked into the house. Like,
yeah.
like.
Well, I mean, I don't like it because, Mark understood that if the relationship will ever be real between him and Amber, he had to tell her that he was invincible.
Yeah.
And even though that relationship doesn't last, right? And because, he just can't, date a normal human being with him being, who he is, he still realized, like, if my relationship is ever going to be serious, I have to let them know about this secret of mine. So why can't he provide that same grace to his mom, who's trying to, so I was like, that just doesn't feel right to me. Like,
well, and Mark's still basically a kid too.
Yeah.
Like, you got to remember that he's only what, 18?
Yeah. 19. Yeah, 19.
Yeah. I mean, he's not
fucking crazy.
He's not going to provide any grace because he probably still feels like, oh, well, that's not my dad. And my mom's dating's kind of weird. And
well, now look at where we end episode 4. Yeah. Also, Brad, did you hear the kind of like the sound of the Terminator sound, the song in the first episode?
No, I didn't catch that.
Oh, man, you gotta go back. Like, it's when they're fighting the robots and they take off the arms.
Yeah.
You kind of hear dun 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 dun. Yeah, it's just fucking hilarious, bro.
What are we thinking about Adam Eve in this 3 episodes?
Well, I really like that. That her parents ended up. Well, not her. It's not. It never was the mom. The mom was never the problem.
No, it's the dad. I still think the dad's still a problem.
I think the dad's still a problem.
Yes.
But he at least seems to be open to wanting her to be at home.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. But he's still kind of a big asshole.
Yeah. She is going back to school. So
which I find hilarious because she's taking architecture and engineering classes, so she doesn't have what happened last season I forget if it was an apartment or if it was an orphanage or what the hell she built, and then it like fell through the middle of the earth.
Yeah. Oh God. But
that would have to suck though if your power was building stuff, but you don't know if it was quite correct or not, and it could like blow up or something. Like if she was making a car, like does she have to go get like mechanical engineering skills and she needs just to absorb all this knowledge somehow.
Yeah. But Brad, I think it's a good start. I think it's a very good start. I think that this feels like a return to form for the season. And I'm very excited to see where we can go from here. And yeah, dude, I wasn't expecting, them to, be as good as it started again. Mm-hmm. But they got it, man. They got it. And it really feels like we're going down a really good path for the season. I think that we have a story that's really interesting that I'm going to be very interested to see how they play out. And, final thoughts before we go into the final verdicts, Brad?
I think it's a return to the like kind of like season 2 first half. Yeah, I think it's a return to that form, which is nice. But then again, I don't think we have all the angst and kind of anger that they waited 3 months to show us the last half. Which I don't think it was as good as the first half, and we might have just kind of threw it under the bus because we waited for this,
Yeah.
like for whatever reason. But I think this is a return to, I think overall it's a good show, but I just think last season Amazon just fumbled it.
Yep. They sure did. Brad, what's your final verdict on episode 1, 2, and 3?
I'm just gonna give an 8 for all of them across the board and see where we go from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my feeling. Like an 8 seems pretty good.
So you think that each episode was as good as,
I personally think so. I actually liked the second episode quite a bit.
Yeah.
So
I like it. I don't think it's as strong as the first.
I mean,
episode
but
of
just getting the flashback of Cecil and it's setting up the whole. Well, Cecil used to be, like Mark, and then he switched. I like that aspect of that episode.
Yeah. All right. So my scores are an 8 for episode 1, a 7.5 for episode 2, and an 8.25 for episode 3. And those are my scores. I'm very excited for more of this. So we will be doing our reviews on Sundays, and we'll be doing that for now. Once the Daredevil Born Again starts, then we'll do Saturdays of Invincible and Sundays for Daredevil. But for now, that's kind of all what we got for you guys. I'm excited to have another show that we can talk about, and I'm excited that this is good, that this has started good, and that I feel that we have something that's a juicy story here. Like you said, you have the Guardians splitting up. Rex is kind of leading one team, Immortals leading the other.
Yep.
And I like the development we've had with Rex and how he's become more human. He's not much of a dick anymore.
No, I mean he's still probably a dick, but I mean he's definitely. I think he's maturing in a way, in some form, and he like has empathy. He has a little more empathy for people than he did when we first met him, and that might just because he's been fucking beat the shit out of for 2 seasons.
Yeah, and he's had 2 failed relationships, and one of them he was getting cheated on. With,
I mean even him like talking. I don't know if it was in these 3 episodes where he has the chat with Eve.
Yeah.
Was that in these 3 episodes where he had the chat with Eve? Or was that in the 4th episode?
I think that's the 4th, Brad.
Okay, then I won't go there.
Yeah. I think that was the 4th.
You talk about it in the next review.
Yeah. But I like that we're seeing that. So it's gonna be interesting to see the Guardian Civil War. And now that they've added, these new heroes like what was the name of the guy, Brad? Black Knight?
Darkwing 2.
Darkwing 2, yeah, Darkwing 2.
Reaniman is the zombies,
the
machine zombies. I like the overarching story of basically, Mark and these Guardians who don't fully trust Cecil.
Yeah.
And then, basically Cecil trying to protect the U.S. in his mind.
Yeah. Yep. All right, Brad, with that said, that concludes our review of the Season 3 premiere of Invincible. As always, thank you guys for joining us. Check us out on thenerdcore.com, Twitter at thenerdcore, Instagram at thenerdcore, Letterboxd at thenerdcore, TikTok, thenerdcore, Patreon.com/thenerdcore. Discord link is in the description below. Talk all about Invincible, movies, and all that wonderful stuff. We'll be live tomorrow night for our review on Patreon, which will go live for everybody on Tuesday at 12 p.m. Central Time of The Elephant Man as we continue our David Lynch month. But, of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell so you don't miss next week's review of Invincible, Season 3, Episode 4. And, yeah, we're going to be 1 week behind you guys, so try our best not to get, spoiled by the internet. But review-wise, we're going to be 1 week behind. And we'll catch you guys next week for the next one, which will be episode 4. If you're listening to us on your favorite podcast app of choice, leave a 5-star review and leave and follow us on your favorite podcast app. All that helps us out so freaking much. And of course, thank you to our patrons. Without them, none of this is possible. You guys are the reason why we're able to keep doing this as consistently as we can. You guys pay for, our EV mucks and all that wonderful stuff. So we thank you guys so freaking much. We love you guys. Brad, with that said, man, I'm gonna eat some chicken at my dad's at my grandma's house because my dad's coming tonight, and I got not much else going on. So, set him out of here.
All right, Raul. Thank you for being host as always. Thank to all those who join us in future chats. Thank to our listeners out there at Patreon supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you. And to end this episode, don't play chicken with the U.S. government. Or do. Maybe. I don't know. Young Yoda out.